to the usual thoroughfare, the office of the Minister of the FCT. But today's chart has some color to it, and I'll tell you a little bit about that now. On the 27th of July 2023, President Bola Tinubu forwarded to the Senate the first batch of ministerial nominees, 37 names on that list. And of course, our guest today was one of the surprise names on that list. On July 31, the Senate screened and confirmed himself and 36 others. On August 21, 2023, President Bola Tinubu sworn in all the ministers. Now, today makes it exactly 1 year ago that event took place. Time enough to demand for the report card and, of course, scrutinize it. And that's exactly what we'll be doing today. I'm not alone here. My name is Benga Aruleba. I work with Africa Independent Television. My colleagues, the regular colleagues on the ministerial chart are here. And of course, we have two new faces who are joining us today. You get to meet all of them now. And from my immediate right here, I am
TVC News.
Amadine Uyi, News Central Television.
All right, let's cross to the other side of the aisle. Yeah, the new face too.
My name is Chijoke Okafo, Advocate Broadcasting Network, ADB.
Olufisa Mufui, Nigerian Television Authority.
Chamber in the South Channel City.
All right, and maybe together we say, good to see the minister again after such a long time, such a long layoff. Good to see you, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's exactly 1 year ago today that you were sworn in as a minister, deployed to the FCT. You became the 17th minister to take charge of the Federal Capital Territory. And I remember that day when you drove that first meeting with the workers and the media, you laid out an elaborate plan to transform the FCT. 1 year down the lane. How has the journey been?
Well, Benga, thank you very much. I would liken this to be like a birthday, for example. You know, where you add, when God gives you life, you add a year, you thank God for that. It's an appointment that by the grace of God, we were able to stay for 1 year. It is not because we are more important or we are more intelligent, but as it pleases God and by using His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic, to give us this opportunity. So we must thank God for everything. I think one must say that so far we are very, very happy. Very happy in the sense that we have had from the news, we have been told that they can feel the impact of our government as far as the FCT is concerned. The experience is quite very interesting. Interesting, not that it's always all that good. Challenges are there, natural. But it's a good experience that being a former governor of a state and now being a minister in a federal capital territory, two different things. Here you are talking about Nigeria. In the States you are talking about, yes, that does not mean that there are no outsiders who are living in the state. But here is Nigeria you are talking about. Here you are talking about diplomatic communities. Here you are talking about who is who in Nigeria. And so the pattern of administration or governance will always be different. And so I feel so elated that, and when I came on board, you know, there was this agitation, seen and unseen. Oh, it's not from a particular part of the country. And therefore, everything was done to make sure that it was not easy for us to make sure that all the cries, according to them, being justified. I thank Mr. President for having the confidence in us and believing in us that we will not disappoint him and will not disappoint Nigerians. Today, one can beat his chest to say that we're happy what we have done. Residents of Abuja are happy what we have done. I'm sure even you who are here, if you sit on your own, you will say, look, we're happy with what we have seen as far as FCT is concerned. Our ambition is to make FCT be a livable city where people can feel comfortable, where we can say, yes, we have been traveling around the world. We have seen how cities are planned. We have seen infrastructure in cities. That is our own ambition, to turn FCT to one of the best cities in the world, not only because of infrastructure, but also in terms of environment, also in terms of security, that look, we're happy. And if you look at when we came, what was the state of FCT? Where were we? And then where are we today? As the time we came, you can attest to the fact that nothing was virtually working in FCT. FCT was just like, oh, yes, in the capital territory, so what? Infrastructure was not everything. Contractors have left every site. So it was like, come on, what are we seeing? Insecurity was the order of the day. The sanitation was very poor. Everywhere was dark. So it was a big challenge. And like I've said, when you have a spot of the appointee who believes in you and gives you all the necessary support that you require, and you are also committed to achieving the results, you will see that things will come out clear. And that's what we have seen today. Where do I start from? Where do I start from? FCT was where staff could not achieve their ambition, where their growth was stagnated, and nobody could take the bull by the horn to say, look, how do we make sure that people who are working are happy with the system? Their growth is not stunted. And that's why I would say leadership in everything you do is key. So many people were running away from this aspect. This person, the former other president, was, you know, we should not do this, we should not implement this. But it took the leadership of the president to say, listen, I had said my government is renewed hope agenda. If my government is renewed hope agenda, then why would I not bring back that hope that is lost? Why would I not bring back that hope that the workers here will feel that, yes, I've lost hope. We have lost hope. We can't grow. And the first thing he did, I'm here for you, was to implement that FCT should be autonomous by having its own permanent secretaries, which was hitherto never allowed, by having their own head of service, by establishing their own civil service Commission. The day the president made that approval, you can see the happiness of workers. Can this be true? Is it possible? Yes. That is the essence of the New Hope agenda. Now today, in this FCT, we have not less than 12, 13 permanent secretaries. Before now, we only have one permanent secretary who been posted from the Federal Civil Commission, not even staff of the FCT. But that is no longer the case. Today, you have the head of service of FCT. Today, you have Civil Service Commission that is in charge of training, discipline of workers, promotion of workers. Now, what it means, take for example, two have retired and another two have been appointed. So you can see, people are now, oh, I'm a director. There is hope. I will one day be permanent secretary. Not only that, there will also be hope. I may be the head of service. Because the current head of service now is retiring in the next 1 month. So somebody will occupy that position, which was not there before. So you can imagine the happiness in workers. Now, Mr. President said, look, yes, we have had mandate secretary, but there are key areas. Our administration, Unity Hope agenda, has always anchored a inclusivity of governance. Women are very important. Youth are very important. How do you have secretariats without talking about women? Those who take care of women, without talking about youth. And Mr. President is wisdom. So listen, we cannot talk about government, we cannot talk about inclusivity without having the separate secretaries. So he approved the establishment of the Women's Secretariat. That's why we now have mandate secretary for women. And the clamor for the youth. You remember, when I was going around interacting with stakeholders, one of the things that they asked for, allow us to have the youth secretary, appoint a mandate secretary that will be overseeing the affairs of the youth.
What would they be doing specifically?
What, of course, we're talking about how do you bring in the youth? How do you make sure the youth are involved in what's going on in government? How do you make the youth to empower them, right? In fact, one of the assignments I gave to the mandate secretary, listen, it is not merely shouting outside. Now you are the mandate secretary of the youth. You've asked for this youth secretariat. You must have to go and sit down now and bring a blueprint. How do we involve the youth and how do we create them to be part of the government? In terms of job, in terms of empowerment.
Has they done that?
You were just sworn in. So, but the point is that it is easy to stay outside and criticize. Now you have been given the opportunity. You have to show that really with the youth, we are really interested to make sure that we're involved in governance, we're involved in the development of the youth. You must bring a blueprint so that government will now know this is what we're going to do for the youth.
I know that they'll do their job and submit to you, but I'm just trying to find out, what is your mindset? What would you like to see? Is it create jobs, create an environment for jobs, or what? For the young people particularly?
Now, let it not be I'm trying to take away the job of the mandate secretary. When we're talking about the youth, of course you have to talk about creation of a job for them. You have to talk about how they empowerment. These are things you must have to. Not just creating a youth secretariat. No. You are talking about job here, which is important. In fact, if you ask me, I'm trying to submit to Mr. President a supplementary budget, because before now, the youth secretariat was not there. Now that it is established, so there must be fund for them. I have in mind what we call Youth Development Fund. But let me not. Let
me take this one.
You are talking about
Just
youth,
to-
Your Excellency. You are talking about youth. What about the clamor for inclusion in governance? That was one of the things you promised to carry youth out.
First of all, you have the youth mandate secretary that involved. The general council is a youth. The mandate secretary for area council is a youth. So they're involved in government. But again, establishing a secretary like this for them tells you they have to play a lot of roles in government. But like I said, that is the job for the mandate secretary to bring his blueprint and how government will really have positive impact.
What about the mandate secretary for women affairs who have been there longer than these ones? Have we seen?
Yes.
Have we seen any
Blueprints?
Yeah.
no,
Yes.
any visible changes
No,
in
but
impact
but
in appointment of them?
remember that they have not even still up to a year. The mandate secretary for women.
Yeah.
We had other mandate secretary before the approval for the establishment of the women secretariat. She came in, if I'm right, around January, February this year.
Yeah.
Mind you, we had done the supplementary budget of 2023 before the establishment. Now what we now did was to include them in the 2024 budget, which she has submitted what she intends to do as far as women are concerned, and we're in the process of procurement to making sure that all those things she wants for women and for women to be affected are all there.
So we've talked about human development, this aspect of an inclusion, just like you have spoken about. In terms of looking at your intervention scientifically, you've seen infrastructure development in different aspects, the rail, the roads, and all that.
Yeah.
But you and your colleagues signed performance bonds with the president last year. In terms of the timelines, what is the report at the moment?
Well, I think that should be, if you ask, I'm not the examiner. That would be the office of the SA to the president to say, look, in terms of deliverable and the time that this minister or ministry are the. But if you ask me, as a student who wrote the exams, I would say that yes, we've done creditably well.
Adding to that, I'll say, have you met your goals?
That's the point I'm trying to do. That's the point I'm trying to do. You cannot.
And there are areas where you can actually
100%.
measure.
But in
the
terms
attitude
of,
workers,
in
for
terms
instance,
of,
and all
okay, we'll just be able to talk about human capital development and the rest of the what we're able to do. In fact, just because you asked, which I would have also told you, one of the things Mr. President did that has aided our work today, and that is pulling us from the TSA. If that was not there, it would be difficult in terms of provision.
Was it at your instance?
Of course.
Okay, you identified this as a
Yes,
big problem.
I felt that looking at the whole scenario, and it was hampering effective provision of infrastructure and the rest of it. Every fund was the central bank, right? Was the central bank. And if that is the case, you are not going to participate in the wider financial market. You have no business with commercial banks. So it is only when funds come from either the national budget or your IGR, which is paid to central bank, that you can embark on any project. So I now say, look, Mr. President, you see governance as business. You don't want your business to fail. So you don't want governance to fail. You don't want to give excuses. One of the best things I think you can do is allow the FCT to pull out, to participate in the wider financial market, where we can ask Bank A we need this money to be able to execute our projects. And Bank was okay. How do we get our money back? It's okay. Yes, you can get our money back. Let our IGR be paid into our account with you. And then you now deduct monthly in order to be a sort of paying back. What's the advantage of that? The advantage of that is that you are no longer waiting that every month, this is what I'll get from IGR. Take for example, if you get 20 billion, it means that you'll be sharing that 20 billion, for example, amongst all interests. And that may not be enough. Now, but bank has given it, for example, maybe 200 billion, right? And bank has agreed, look, we'll be taking like 6 billion or 5 billion monthly, as the case may be. Now you have 200 billion spending on infrastructure. You still have leftover from the IGR, which you can use to run daily activities. So the contractors they are aware that there is fund for them. So everybody want to work.
No,
Now, Your Excellency, many would recall that when you came into office, you hit the ground running as soon as you assumed office. And in terms of the infrastructural development in the FCT, a lot of transformation has happened in the last 1 year. However, other people share different thoughts with regards to your attention to other sectors like agriculture, education, transportation, and security, which has been an age-long issue in the FCT. What plans do you have for these other sectors that I've just mentioned?
People are not being fair to government. You talk about transportation. You were here when the president flagged off the operation of our light the rail, which was comatose. Today, daily passengers we have not less than 4,000 that use that rail. And the wisdom of Mr. President, he gave out for 6 months free ride, which will expire at the end of this year. We have been able to flag off 2 bus terminals. The third one will be 26th of this month, which will be at the central business area at the back of the Able Square. That is to improve our transport system. When we talk about education, they forgot that I flagged up total rehabilitation of over 21 schools as we came. As I speak to you, I sent a letter to the Bureau of Public Procurement as of yesterday to allow us emergency rehabilitation of not less than 30 schools. Because if we are allowed to go to the procurement process, that takes another 3-4 months, and the year is ended. I just spoke with the DG this morning, and he said, look, I should assure that they are going to give attention to it. That is in terms of education. Not only that, for the first time, where teachers are saying they have never had any training since in this FCT. But for me, education is not only providing infrastructure. Part of quality education to making sure that the teachers are well trained to be able to impact positively on our children. These things, you may not see them. What you see is because people use the roads every day. I'm coming to security, and the rest of officers, you will know what we have done. It's not just saying, what have you done? No. Most of these schools too are in the rural areas. We have not only concentrated in schools in the city. Ordinarily, it is not our duty he will go and begin to talk about primary schools, the function of the area council. But we cannot say because the area councils are not being able to carry out this, therefore we shut our eyes. No, we are not allowing that. Look at the area of security. What was FCT as at the time we came? You were talking about kidnapping here and there. When we came, we said, look, we are going to tackle it head on. Security agencies were lacking what they require in terms of fighting crime. No vehicles. They are not, encouraged in terms of logistics. But as we came, I made sure that all these things were provided for them to be able to fight crime. You will attest to the fact today that yes, people can now sleep with their eyes closed in FCT. That does not mean from time to time you will not be able to say, oh, this crime has been committed. And I want to tell anybody, as far as society is concerned, even in developed societies, you will not hear that no crime was committed. No, it's not correct. But if we are very, very objective, you will know that security has improved after FCT's concern. We are not resting on our own. We are believing that we must still work hard. The CP and other security agencies are doing very well. You know, you only hear one crime, but you won't hear that they've been able to stop about 50 crimes because you're not in a position. I get intelligence report, security report every day, every morning. The commissioner of police will send me the report. See what has happened last night, see what was done, see what you have already there, see the criminal, and I can tell you with all confidence that they have done well.
What about?
I'm taking one by one.
Okay.
No, I'm taking it.
Okay, there are about 4.
Yes,
Excellency.
luckily for us, I had a meeting with the ambassador of Italy. Today is Wednesday. That was last week Friday. He came here and said, look, there's an opening for us to partner with Milan, and what area do we really want? I said, look, I'm not very much interested in all this memorandum of understanding. I'm not interested in all this signing agreement. At the end of the day, you get nothing for it. Practically, tell me how serious are they in terms of partnering with us as far as agriculture is concerned. We have very good land for agriculture. We are ready to provide not less than 20,000 hectares of land for agriculture. And I can tell you, I was very elated as at Monday when I spoke with the governor. And we are going to Milan in the second week of September to concretize this arrangement as far as agriculture is concerned. You see, we talk about, I don't want to talk about, we have been giving out fertilizers, we have been giving out seeds to farmers. That cannot really solve the problem in terms of food security. You need proper farming. And that is why in all the rural areas today, which has not been the case, you can't find roads. And how do you talk about agriculture when there's no road? How do you convey the produce? How? So we made sure that, look, if we're really talking about agriculture, there must also be road infrastructure. That's why if you go to the 6 area councils, go and see the openings. Go and see the openings. The local farmers are happy that yes, they can go to farm. Security has improved.
What is your target for that sector so we can know what to measure and how to approach it? What are you targeting?
Because people are still talking about inner roads.
That was my question. That's where I wanted to go to.
This is about food security, guys.
That is where I wanted to go to, because I know that during these administrations, first year in office, you did commissioning for between 9 to 11 days, project upon project. But citizens are asking, with this energy and zeal within the city center, what are you doing for the rural and satellite communities?
That is what I've said here. I said that for the first time, it has never been the case that we have 6 area councils. As I speak to you, there's no area council that you go to now, you will not see 2-3 roads being done at the same time. Mind you, even during the commissioning, we also commissioned roads in the way, even though it did not get the attention of the presidency. We did not invite the presidency to come and commission such roads like in Kwale. Right? By this December, by the grace of God, we are commissioning not less than 75 kilometers of road in the 6 area councils by this December. And these are roads that have been carried out by serious contractors like Cetraco, like Gilmore, like that. So, what is our strategy? These roads are necessary in order to encourage our local farmers to have access to their farm areas. 2, for those who want to do very large mechanized agriculture, which we are trying to partner with the Emilan. Can you do this when you don't have access access road? So it's key that there must be access roads.
Can we bring on board a little bit, because we might need to join 2 concepts in terms of agriculture and security. I remember in some of our discussions we were talking about some arrangement with the bordering states in terms of securing, especially our local areas that are, have joint borders with Kogi, for instance, Kaduna, Niger, and Nasarawa, to make sure that those places are secured, especially because, of course, we have farming communities there, and we have a lot of, also roots that some of these people.
Honorable Minister, I don't want you to lose sight of the question that my colleague from ADB asked, which is, what is the intention, what is the goal, the objective of your policy on agriculture, for instance? Exactly. Is this self-sufficiency in food production for local consumption,
what do they expect?
Or for export?
First of all,
to contribute to Nigeria's revenue stream.
First of all, you have to feed yourself first before you talk about export. The problem today is that food prices are high. It's not true. Or they are not available. So our policy, first of all, provide enough food, so in order to crash down the prices, so that your people will not die of hunger. Then, subsequently, you can talk about using agriculture to raise revenue. But you can't talk about just revenue when you're already dying of hunger. Nigeria has removed taxes on some commodities in order to make the people to survive. So our policy first, feed ourselves, feed our people, then you talk about raising revenue.
Well, Your Excellency, what is your plan concerning the housing deficit in the FCT? That is another area that I believe a lot of people would want to hear what plans you intend.
The agri part is not concluded.
Let's finish with it.
Well, not be so many issues. Can you allow him attend to the ones that
will come to that.
Okay.
So, sir, maybe as a follow-up to what we were talking about, because, to do